everyone, WerewolfLydia here and welcome back to a new action figure review on my channel. I haven't done one of these in quite some time, but today I'm really excited to finally have this figurine. As you can see, this is a alien figurine, and to be more specific, this is the gorilla alien that comes with also a face hugger from NECA Toys, and this figurine came out like 2 years ago or something, but back then I didn't have money, so I had to pass, and I always felt really bad because I really wanted with this figurine. But now finally I got it, and I just thought that I should do a review of it. So let's take a closer look first at the box, and after that I will box this little guy and show you his awesome details. So let's get started. So here is a close-up of the box, and as you can see, all of it is just one big plastic piece. And by the way, it's one of those boxes that's really hard to open. I really hate these kind of boxes, but you know, it is what it is. And by the way, on the top it got a little bit squished during shipping, but that's okay because I'm an open collector, so I'm going to open it. I don't mind. So yeah, on the top, as you can see, it says aliens, and in the background you can see some alien parts up there, and it's all green. Coming down here you can see the alien inside, and here is a really awesome like comic book like artwork of the gorilla alien. And it says gorilla with face hugger and ages 17 and up, so this is a collector's item, it's not a toy, and it was made by NECA. And it also comes with a little comic book over here. I'm really interested to see that. Dark Comics comic book inside, so yeah, I'm really interested to see what's inside that. And this is the back of the box, and it shows you all the, or at least some of the other figurines from NECA that are available, like the Alien Queen, some Predators, some of the other aliens, and other figurines. And here it has this little, like, it's like a little collector card about the gorilla alien, and it says Origin Jungle Planet Zivan, Colony 51 workers, 1 queen and 36 eggs. So it's pretty big if you ask me. Beware high blood acid concentration, 75.32%, and destruction point rapid fire weapons crack exoskeleton. So yeah, you have to be pretty equipped with some weaponry if you want to defeat these guys. Dark, empty, silent. This is deep space and vicious aliens are attacking. One force has the guns and the guts to face these ugly monsters. Send in the heavy metal, send in the space marines. The invasion is on. So yeah, it's pretty cool if you ask me. And down here it has the NECA Toys official like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that cool stuff. So yeah, oh, from here you can see him pretty well. So yeah, that's about it for the box. Now let me just unbox this little guy, and we'll take a closer look at him. And I'm back, and here is the unboxed gorilla alien. He is super duper cool, although he has kind of a hard time staying up. I guess if you had a stand, I don't know if NECA made some specific stands for like to be able to buy separately. I think they did. So I may have to do that eventually. Right now I managed to balance him somewhat, but he has a hard time staying up because the upper part of his body is much wider and heavier than the lower part, so that's probably one of the reasons. But before I actually show you a up close of the alien, as you can see, I have here the little bonuses, accessories, not exactly sure what to call them, that he came with. So first off, we are going to take a look at those, and after that I will show you the alien. So first off, as you can see, we have this little comic book from Dark Horse, and this is probably like a remade version or reprinted version kind of the original one in just smaller size. This was number 4, I guess. I'm not a big comic book person, so I don't know much about it. It says Gorilla Alien Jungle Attack, and we can see a picture of the gorilla alien, and inside, of course, it's the actual little comic book, which is pretty cool, as you can see, and pretty interesting to see it like that. So yeah, that's the little comic book. Now he also comes with a face hugger, which they did mention on the box. This is how it looks like. I don't think you can, no, so you cannot bend the tail, it will regain its original form. But this is how it looks. It's pretty cool. It has the same shade of bluish black that the gorilla alien has, and it actually has like nails, silver nails on it, which is pretty cool. And by the way, this is my first face hugger in my collection. I don't have any others, so I'm really happy to have it. And last but not least, he comes with this somewhat transparent or see-through head piece. I'm not sure what to call it, head part, and you can actually exchange the one that he has on his head, the black one, with this one, and there is a reason for that, but you will be able to see that after I show you the alien, which is, and it's, by the way, it's a pretty cool little detail. So yeah, now let's move on to the alien itself. So here is a close-up of the alien, and as you can see, as I said before, the upper part of his body is much wider and it resembles really well a gorilla. Now as you can see, his colors are black and dark bluish. Actually, it shows up more light on camera than it should be. It's way more darker on when you are not looking at through the camera. But yeah, so you can see that his head is much more wider than the usual aliens have, and it kind of reminds me of the queen's, you know, crown head, but it's really cool. This is how the back looks. I'm trying to show it to you guys as best as I can, the details. As you can see, this is the black headpiece part, which you can exchange. I will show you it in just a second. This is how his jaws look, and you can see that his mouth, or more likely his teeth, are actually more exposed than the usual warrior aliens have. And again, that reminds me really well of like how the gorilla jaws or like push forward. I don't know how to explain it, but I think you get it what I'm talking about. And of course you can open his mouth, and here is a nice little view of the teeth, and of course inside he has the second little mouth, which you can pull out, and that's how it looks. It's gray, of course, and you just have to push that back in. Now moving down, you can see that his neck is much more wider than the usual warriors have, but these shoulder parts, again not sure what to call them, shoulder parts are much smaller. His chest is wider, and this is how the back looks. It's more interesting and a little bit more detailed, although he only has 2 of these pipe things. I don't know, I guess he's using those to breathe, maybe, I don't know. While the original warriors have 4 of these. Now here's arms. As you can see, some of those pipe thingies are actually down here, on his forearms, and his claws are like claws and fingers. I actually noticed that he has 6 fingers. That's really interesting. 2 little ones on the side and 4 longer ones in the front, or like bent inwards. So again, it really reminds me of how gorillas stand. And that's how the other arm looks as well. But moving down, I guess, and this is a guess because I actually didn't put him next to my warriors yet. I think the lower legs and the lower part of his body is like almost exactly the same looking as the warriors have, so it's just the upper body that's different. Yes, claws, of course, on the legs too, which are actually not painted silver. The little claws, are they painted silver on the... No, they are not painted silver either on the hands. That's really interesting. And another thing that's different from the warriors is the tail, and it's actually way longer, as you can see, than a warrior's tail. And on the end, at the end of the tail, you can see that he has this really interesting hand-like thing with some like 3 fingers on it and claws. It kind of reminds me of a face hugger at the same time. It looks really awesome, and I'm pretty sure he can grab you with this, or he can maybe swing on the trees with this, because I can well imagine it. Although gorillas don't really climb on trees, but I can still think that or imagine that he can, which is really awesome. And of course the tail is bendable in whichever way you want it, so that's really cool. By the way, the tail is kind of loose on my figurine. I'm not sure if all of the Gorilla Aliens figurines were made like that or it's just mine, but as you can see here, it's pretty loosely glued in. I don't know if I will be able to fix that, but we'll see. So yeah, that's about it for the details, as much as I could show them to you guys and as much as I could explain it. Again, I think it's really cool. Now let's take a closer look at the articulation points. Okay, so as far as the articulation on this figurine goes, it's super duper articulated. It's really worth the money. So you can move his head to side and a little bit up and down, but not too much, because his big head just won't move lower. And as I showed you before, you can open his jaws and pull the little inside mouth out. He has articulation on the upper body. It's on a ball joint, and you can of course move his arms to the side and all around. He has articulation in the upper arm as well. You can move it from side to side. He has a double joint in the elbow, which is really cool, as you can see. And you can move his lower arm to the sides as well. And of course, in the verse too, you can move it up and down and from side to side as well. Of course, you can move his legs up and down and to the side as well. He has a double joint on the knee, or in the knee actually. So that's really cool. In his feet as well, you can move it up and down and to the sides too, and one more here as well, up and down. So again, that's really cool. And of course, as I showed you to you before, you can bend the tail in whichever way you want it to. So yeah, a super duper articulated figurine, super cool looking. It's really worth grabbing it while you still can. because it's really a awesome addition to anyone's Xeno collection. Now, last but not least, let me show you the little secret that this figure has, and I will be able to remove this part pretty easily. And you can see a exposed skeleton part up here, which is gray, and it's really cool looking. And you can see kind of like eyes there, and a nose too. And I think it just looks really cool, really nightmarish, nightmare fuel, not sure what to call it. And this, if I look at him like this, it really does remind me of a gorilla, like a gorilla skeleton or gorilla monster of some sort, and that's really cool. And of course, the transparent one, you can actually put this on him. There we go. It does not want to stay or snap in the best way, so you can kind of lose this if you are not careful. But still, it looks cool, although this part where it has a little gradient from black to transparent, it kind of covers up the eyes and the creepy part, only leaves you with guessing what's underneath it. But it's still a really cool little feature that they added, and I really liked it. It's really awesome. So that's about it of this brief review of the Gorilla Alien. If you like my review, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more action figure and other kind of toy and doll reviews on my channel. And tell me down below in the comments, what do you think of this figurine, if you have it in your collection. How do you manage to make him stand properly? Because I would like to know that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!